What's up, everybody? This is the Bulldog Gaming Podcast where Andrew doesn't get to fucking talk. Fuck you.
Fuck. You fucking got me. It's your boys, Andrew and Brian. We are coming back at you. It is your favorite podcast where we sporadically show up in your podcast feed whenever we feel like doing an episode and taking a random week off. So, what is going on? It's your boys. We've been, was it 1 week or 2 we were gone?
I don't know. We've been lazy after our E3 weekend.
It wasn't even laziness. My last weekend for me was fucking stacked. Like, I did not have,
Andrew had a wedding.
Had a wedding going on. I had a bunch of other shit.
We had some band practices.
Yeah, things have been fucking busy.
Honestly, I haven't even had that much time to stream lately. I've been exhausted with work and whatnot.
It's like I went to stream Monday, and I hadn't streamed since, I think, last Thursday. And I was just kind of like, holy shit. I was like, I feel like I haven't streamed in like a year, and I hate it. But,
well, speaking of your stream, I feel like we'll get into the E3 talks in a minute. I feel like we should quickly just talk about our recent games and then go back into what we felt about E3 and then maybe talk about the news.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know you've been streaming Wolfenstein, that newer one.
Yeah, buddy.
That Wolfenstein, since Bethesda took over, it's been how many games? Is it the third one or the second one?
To be honest, I kind of got in late on the series, so I'm not sure. Because I know when they announced Wolfenstein 2, I went back and played the New Order, I think it was called.
Something like that.
And
that didn't work for me on my PS4.
I played a few hours of it, and to be honest, I wasn't enjoying it much. It felt kind of like
Was it
bland.
serious?
It felt kind of bland and like weirdly difficult, I guess I would say. And I played through a fair amount of it, and I just kind of was on to the next thing.
I only played the tutorial of that game when you're like on the plane and you jump to the other plane and then you land in the water and then the robot shark eats you and then that's when your game crashes every time. And that was my experience with that game.
I feel like you have a lot of troubles with games and weird crashes.
Well,
I feel like you play a lot of games and you're always like, I got to this point and the game just wouldn't fucking work. Like when you told me in Witcher how the fucking thing wouldn't just fly down.
Yeah, quick recap. in The Witcher, when you fight your first dragon, for me, I fought it for like 2 minutes and then it flew into the air, which I guess to like move spots, but it just never came down. It was like literally about 20 minutes. I was like, I think my game's broken.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
But yeah, that's cool. How have you been liking the new one though?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it really comes very full circle because I think I actually stopped playing the old one because the Steam Summer Sale happened, and I think I picked up Shadow of Mordor and just kind of got really immersed in that game.
Hell yeah.
So I started streaming Wolfenstein 2 because I'm very excited for Youngblood, which is coming up.
Which looks awesome, honestly.
Yeah, and by the way, that's co-op.
We should co-op that.
We should.
Dual stream?
We can, because what happens with that is that, I mean, obviously we game share, so you could download the game anyway.
Don't tell them.
Sorry, fucking Sean Layden, if you're listening to this. But what I was going to say is if you get the deluxe edition, you actually get a buddy pass. So I could, like, because you could download the game, I could offer, like, Tom or John the buddy pass, and they get to play the game with me without having to buy it, which is sick.
But I go to bed before you, so you're going to give someone that buddy pass, you need to go ahead of me.
Probably. But I'm just excited for that as playing...
Was that game split screen, or no?
What, Youngblood?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen much on it. All I know is it's 80s, because this game is very, like, 50s. But I will say that Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, is leaps and bounds better than the first game.
It seems more ridiculous.
Yes, it is way over the top. It is very, like, weirdly sci-fi. Like, it seems like in most of these situations in cutscenes, they were like, what was the most batshit sci-fi thing we could do to make this happen? And it's like, yeah, that works. Like, for example, there's actually 2 timelines you can play through because in the first game you make a choice about 2 people and which one you save. So there's kind of 2 different ways your story can play out, I guess, between who you have.
Is it a big difference? And did you beat the game, by the way?
No, I don't think it's a huge difference. No, I am very close. I would say I'm about 85% done with the game.
Cool.
Probably tomorrow or this weekend when I stream, I'm going to play that and finish it up. But Like, for example, I'm in this one cutscene, and there's like a Nazi, and the two people sneak up, and the dude I have on my team that I made the choice for has a robot arm, because his arm got cut off.
Fuck yeah, robot arm.
And the girl goes to shoot him, and he's like, nah. And he fucking shoots his hand out that he's never done in the entire game, and the thing
Like a
just
projectile
crawls up.
fist?
Yeah, like the thing just crawls up, jumps on the back of the guy's head, and just starts fucking squeezing his skull to fucking death. And I was like, this is a Bethesda game.
Now,
like, yeah.
Quick question about I know in the I've only seen like the original trailer and some bits from watching your stream.
Yeah.
It's like Klansmen it is a Klansmen and like Nazis walking around the world and shit.
I know what you're talking about. The town.
Yeah.
So
do they give like any redeemable personality to these people? Like, oh, this is the norm. So like, oh, this random guy who's a Klansman, he's just a regular guy, or is it just like everyone who's racist is completely irredeemable?
Well, here's the thing, is that it's meant to make you, the player, feel very uncomfortable. Even streaming it, there's been a few times that I've been wondering, like, should I even be streaming this? Because, like they drop N-bombs and stuff.
Hard R?
Because it's,
Ooh,
because
wow.
it's very, like, it's a mature game. Like, this is, if the Nazis had won and taken over America, like, that shit would be happening. The whole thing with the KKK is they're actually in, like, a place of power in this Nazi America, because their views align with the Nazis. So that's part of the game when you're walking through the town.
Is there like a
you're
hub?
actually undercover in that level, and you're carrying a portable nuke because you're going to set it off in like a high command area, but you're undercover as a firefighter, so you're walking around like with it like it's like a tank. So you're casually walking through the town, you're going past the Nazis, you're going past like the KKK, talking outside of a diner. And you feel so uncomfortable because walking down the street, it is so, like, 50s Americana.
Sounds gross.
Like, it's very, like old, like, fucking, any, like, 50s TV show you've ever watched where it's like, everything's perfect. Here's the milkman that's always here for some fucking reason. We're all living in happy America. But it's like, then you see a Nazi flag hanging off the side of the building. And you go in the diner, and there's a mother and her child ordering food. And,
Are they like wearing Nazi shit?
No, but the kid orders, and the mom's like, you have to practice your German, because it's like, these people need to learn German now, because that's the way of America.
So the racist aspect is like the norm. Like,
yeah.
Oh, this person is just, this is how they've always been. This is America now. That's
yeah, like
nuts.
they want you, the player, to feel uncomfortable and be like, this is the horrifying reality of what could have been. You know, with a little sci-fi element, maybe not to that extent. Like, in one level, you're in New Orleans, and they literally built a Great Wall around New Orleans. Maybe that's a little exaggerated, but, you know.
Fucking Wild West.
My favorite is you'll find, like, there's all kinds of collectibles, right? And you'll find, like, records, and it'll, like, play a song, but a lot of the records are, like, parodies of popular, like, U.S. bands as German. So I found one that's like the Beatles, and it's like all in German. And then there's like a U2 one, and it's like, it's hilarious.
That's super
You know
funny.
what I mean?
Now, I'm guessing, like, since you're like the ragtag bunch of people who are like, this isn't right.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you figure out how you come to be in the first game, or is this game kind of its own thing?
Well, here's the thing. It's kind of a Captain America thing where you're kind of like a soldier, and like you go into the backstory of your family in this game, and this is another part that was super, super heavy, and another reason I kind of was really uncomfortable even streaming it was you have like flashbacks to your childhood, and in one of the flashbacks, like in all of them, like your dad is a fucking dick. Like, your dad is literally, like, your mom is hiding you in a closet, and your dad is trying to get you out of there to beat you because you are, as in his words, sweet on an N-word.
Oh, he likes a black girl?
Yeah. And his dad wants to beat the shit out of him for it. Because he's like, I worked so hard for this family, you're not going to ruin our reputation, and your mom is Jewish. So, like, that comes into play later.
Does he not know?
No, this was, like, before. This was when the main character, BJ, was a kid. No, but it comes into play later.
Did dad not know he was married to a Jewish woman?
No, he knew. That was fine back in the day. This is before the Nazis. This is when BJ's a kid. And you play through these flashbacks.
So this travesty in America happened in his lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
That's nuts.
Because BJ was a soldier in the first game. And in the second game, like I said, I didn't fully beat the first one, but somehow you get injured again. And so you're on bed rest when the second one starts, and the Nazis are attacking the U-boat, which you guys kind of gain control of. And dude, you literally play the first level of the shooter in a wheelchair. Like, you have to roll yourself through and then fucking shoot the Nazis. It's hilarious.
I bet that's pretty cumbersome.
But one of the things that was very graphic that I was getting to, which is very uncomfortable to stream, is your dad's trying to teach you how, like, sometimes you have to make the rough choice and sometimes you have to, like, be in charge. And he literally ties your hands to a gun on a swivel and he ties your dog up and he's like, shoot him. And I literally sat there and I was like, waiting to see if it would,
like an
if I waited long enough, if it wouldn't happen.
Some Far Cry bullshit.
I was like, I don't want to shoot this fucking dog right now. And eventually, I was like, I have to do it. So I just aimed the gun away and missed. And then my dad called me a failure. The dad calls you a failure, and then he takes the gun, and you just see the blast, and you just hear the dog's like last whimper. And I was like, Jesus. I was uncomfortable.
So last question.
I'm glad this game didn't shy away from that. You know.
One more question about it. Does this game work if you did not play the other one?
Yeah, they do like a quick recap.
I mean, more towards like plot. Like,
yeah,
am I missing a lot if I didn't play the first one? Or
basically, all you need to know is like there's like you said, the Nazis won. BJ kind of woke up from his coma or whatever, and the Nazis had won. And you have like a ragtag group of people, and that's all that's left. And you go around to these different parts of the U.S. recruiting people. So there's like a map that's New York. Like you play through Manhattan. Ooh. There's a map that's like New Orleans. Like you go through different areas and kind of recruit the resistance. Is it open or like linear
like Halo games?
Linear like Halo. Like it seems a lot bigger, but like you kind of go through each level.
See, that sounds fun because I remember.
And then there's like
shooters like that were great.
And then there's breaks in the hub world where you walk around the U-boat and you interact with people until you go to the next mission.
Romance options? Have some sex.
There's not like dialogue trees. It's kind of just like.
One more quick question.
Yeah.
What's up with that psychedelic thing they teased in like the first trailer where like a cartoon thing flies by you? Is there like drugs in that game or some shit?
I haven't seen that, no.
You don't remember that?
I do, but like I don't see that. I didn't see that in the game.
2D cartoon thing flew by at the end of the trailer? I guess maybe that's like some end of the game shit.
I do know that on the U-boat there's like a club and like a bar area, and in the club there's like old school Wolfenstein, and you can just play it.
I was about
you can play through the whole game.
No, what?
Like pretty much, yeah.
Dude, I was literally about to say, have you ever played old school Wolfenstein?
Yeah, and it's in there.
It's like center of the screen. It's basically like original.
It's called like something else because it's supposed to be a spin about like this is the game the Nazis released and like you fight the Americans. It's like a reverse.
Oh,
so like you're playing old school Wolfenstein, but you're a Nazi fighting the Americans.
Dude, I remember old school.
So like you kill one and he's like, oh my, oh dear, because it's like German guys trying to make like American.
Was your health bar? Was your health bar a face? Or was it, and were Doom and Wolfenstein the same company back in the day?
I think so because they're very similar.
Yeah, but yeah, that's cool because like I was stupid little when I played it on PC.
Yeah, of course.
I don't even remember if you fought humans or monsters, but I was like.
On what, Doom or Wolfenstein?
Wolfenstein.
It was humans. They fought like Nazis.
Because I remember when Wolfenstein came back, I was like, isn't that a super fucking old game?
Yeah, dude. It was, I think, was that the first-person shooter, or was it Doom?
I feel like it might have been Wolfenstein.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think Doom was, like, the next one. They had, like, the rockin' music.
Yeah.
It sounded like Metallica.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it was very Master of Puppets influenced.
Yeah, dude.
It was fucking
sick.
But
I was going to say, it's come kind of full circle, because it's like... where I stopped playing the first one because I started playing Shadow of Mordor, I just picked up Shadow of War on the Steam Summer Sale, and I'm like, I know I'm going to, like, I'm very close and I'm going to finish it on stream, but like, even tonight I came home and I know I'm not streaming, and when we're done, I'm like, I can't wait to kick it and play some Shadow of War.
Hell yeah, man, that Steam Summer Sale, Sonic Adventure 2 is like $2.50.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw it.
Go.
You know what I've been doing, and I feel like you might do the same thing. You could sort by like the under $5 option, and then sort that lowest to highest.
Yep.
And I'm buying a bunch of absolute shit games for 50 cents, and I'm gonna have like a stream one night and just play through a bunch of like garbage games.
Oh hell yeah!
I think I found one called President Trump Finds the Way to Uganda, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but it's 50 cents. It's gonna make for great content.
I know Spore is $4.99, and like I know that game. I think it was hype when it was announced, and I don't think it was that great when it came out. But I watched playthroughs, and it seems like it could get fun.
Yeah, you never know. But
yeah.
What about you? What's been on the list?
All right, the first game I've been playing, you play a little bit too. My Friend Pedro on Switch. How far? Have you
dabbled.
gone?
I don't know, not very far. I played like one night.
Did you get to the first boss fight?
No.
Okay, well, I got past that. I feel like the game is kind of in like chapters or acts.
Yeah.
Because like you're going through like it looks like factories constantly. Now I'm in more of like a cityscape kind of high rises, like but like not fully together, kind of like construction-looking high-rises.
Yeah.
And this level became more puzzle-oriented, where it's like, oh, you're on a platform that's moving, quickly shoot the lever so it makes the next thing come down. This game's fucking amazing, and I hate 2D. I hate 2D games.
I hate, like, it's almost a puzzle game, in a way.
Not even, it's like
you have to, maybe not a puzzle game, but like, it has aspects of it.
It's
and the way you like think about the way you're going to approach the room before you do it.
It's a puzzle game until you're good, and then it's a fucking action game.
Yeah.
It's
like a puzzle first person. It's like a shooter puzzle game. Like, I don't know.
The focus meter is literally there to help you learn the game.
Yeah.
Because once you're good, you don't
really use it.
You don't fucking use it. Like, I was sliding down a railing up like by my legs, because when you use the two guns, you slide by your legs when you're on a pole. And I was like shooting one guy, shooting another guy, and then they die. I just reload, shoot the next guys. The frying pan thing, I got it working mad nice.
Yeah.
I even kick it into other rooms and shit and use it.
I love the motorcycle levels. Or like the level I played that was motorcycle.
That was the first boss fight.
Yeah. Oh, was that?
The truck at the end?
Yeah.
I call it boss fight.
Then I did play that,
Dude, that was terrible. I was like, his fucking bombs keep hitting me. What the fuck? I was like, oh, I have to shoot them.
I think I was actually better at the motorcycle fight than I was like some of the run and gun rooms.
Oh well, yeah, because that one's it's a lot simpler.
Yeah. But it just makes you feel like such a badass when you're like doing it right in that game.
Like the fact that you can shoot in two different directions, like it's amazing.
Game changer.
And honestly,
I've never seen that.
It could definitely work in 3 dimensions too.
Yeah,
pretty easily.
If they do a sequel, that might be like one of the twists. Is like
I want to know how long it is. I want to know at the end of the game, do I get payoff to like what the fuck's up with this banana boy?
Yeah, right.
I've gotten some of his faces on the side of the screen.
They're great.
Dude, I got like an A rank in something and his face was on the screen. It was like a highly detailed cat face. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. I love when I got one that was like the anime eyes.
I think the thing with this game was, I think they had the idea for this game and they're like, this game's got cool mechanics, but what's going to be the fucking draw? Random banana and just vibrant fucking yellow. Because yellow is super underutilized in everything, really.
And that's such a Devolver thing. Where they could just be like, we have the gameplay down. Aesthetically, let's make it batshit. And it just works for them.
And like, I beat every level, and a lot of them without dying.
Yeah.
I take my rooms slowly, because I don't know the stuff enough. But I think the lowest rank you can get is C, and I think the highest is A. I don't think there's like an S rank. There might be an S rank. But, this game's got super replayability just from like, once you learn the game, instead of like going slow through rooms, maybe using focus to even be slower, you're just gonna be sprinting through rooms, just you finessing these controls to just be like an action hero.
That is a game I'd love to see like a speedrunning community for.
When I was streaming it the other day, and someone was in my chat being like, "I would love this." I was like, "I want to get this game. Is it good?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I'd love to see speedruns of this game." I was like, "Oh my god, I can't even imagine."
Yeah, that would be insane.
It's probably disgusting.
It would look beautiful.
Did you get up to the shotgun?
No.
The shotgun's so nice.
Yeah,
so
I only got the SMG.
The SMG is, dude. I love how like they don't really fuck you with ammo. It's like the first part of the game is pistols, unlimited ammo, whatever. When you get up to the SMGs, enough people have them that you keep getting ammo for it.
Yeah.
Same thing with the shotgun. The max is like 128 bullets, and you're like in the hundreds like constantly.
In a way, though, I wish they kind of would have just gave me every gun has unlimited ammo. Like, let me figure out how I want to go through the room. Like, I can go through the room with shotguns blazing. I can go through with SMGs. Like, let me figure that out, you know?
And, like, along with everything else, like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's an easy game. Like, you have to be able to, like, you have to multitask and you have to be able to think while moving.
Yeah.
And this is on normal mode. There's, like, hard and, like, expert. Like, I can't even imagine expert mode. Because, like,
imagine?
They, like, say what they do, like, oh, they react better, they don't miss. It's like, it's nuts, it's crazy.
That's wild.
What else have you been playing?
Well, I did want to talk about, even though I've only played it for one night, I started Shadow of War.
You talk about it.
And
how much walking is in it?
Dude, I love these types of games. Like, I know you never really played them.
I feel like I would like the Nemesis system in a game I care more about.
But here's the thing. I don't care about Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
This game is enough enough not Lord of the Rings.
Are these prequels
that you would enjoy it.
Are these prequels or do they take place after the movies?
To be honest, I don't know.
Or is it just kind of like a spin-off in the same world?
I think it's kind of a spin-off in the same world. Because it really doesn't involve the movies. Like, it kind of...
Is there any?
It has, like, the name slapped on it, and a few characters, like, I recognize from the movie. But other than that, it's really its own game. And I think if it's cheap enough, you should pick it up. I think you'd really enjoy it. Because
you have them both on Steam, right?
Yeah. It's like that, that Batman Combat
Never played Batman.
where it's like it's kind of like Assassin's Creed combat, where it's a lot of like X, you're fighting guys,
Kind of
and
like
then like
arcadey beat 'em up.
it'll
kinda,
like
sorta?
yeah, like the Y will pop up to block, and you'll start blocking a guy. And there's all different moves. It's like when your meter fills up, you press YB, and you'll just execute a guy right there. If a guy's on the ground, you trigger and it's X, and you execute a guy right there. There's the Nemesis system. There's all these captains.
Which is basically like there's repercussions to you, say, cutting a guy's arm off.
Yes,
They
or
remember you, and they're still damaged. And
guys
shit.
kill you and move up the ranks.
If they beat you in a fight, they get promoted.
Yeah.
And shit.
So like what you do is you kind of like using your wraith powers. There's certain marked enemies that are called like worms or whatever, and you like interrogate them, and they give you. Then it allows you to choose any of the captains you want info on. Like they're all silhouettes, and then it'll give you like their info, and they all have different weaknesses. Like some are immune to poison, some are immune to fire, some take damage from execution, some can be executed or stealth attacked, but not all can.
Is this a very narrative game or more just action?
No, there is a narrative, and to be honest, like it's fine for what it is. But as someone who doesn't care about the narrative, I love the gameplay.
See, now here's
and
my
the system.
thing that I've always thought about with the Nemesis system. What company makes this?
Monolith, I believe.
That's
which
part of WB, right? Yeah.
let me look it up. 'Cause
While you look that up, I wanted to mention, I feel like this system sounds amazing. I feel like it's held back by the Lord of the Rings title. Like, create your world, create these they are original characters, but like...
it is Monolith.
I think that's WB.
Yeah, they do Shadow of War, they did Fear, Condemned. I'm trying to see if there's any other like
Who owns
big
Lord of
game.
the Rings is the real
They
thing.
did that old game I always talk about, Gotham City Imposters, which is a sick fucking game.
I mean,
So, yeah, they've always
I have
kinda-
a 360 and I think it's on it. But yeah, the thing is, with that kind of amazing like mechanic built in, I feel like you should like create your own world, create your own rules, and then even like maybe like
I've thought about that, yeah.
and then like maybe like oh you cut this guy's arm off in the first game, and you thought you killed him eventually, but he's not dead, and how your old save would load, and he'd be in the same battle state as where you left him, or something crazy like that.
Because it's like, dude,
Lord of the Rings is a big title, yes, but like there's people like me that are like, I just don't want to.
So like I'm telling you, and I'll tell everybody listening, I don't care about Lord of the Rings. This game is amazing. It doesn't matter. Like you will find your own story because
What's the
that's the
character's
thing.
name?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. That's exactly it, dude. That's how good the gameplay is.
But give me that good gameplay with a compelling narrative.
Oh yeah, but I'm saying the narrative is not a reason to not play this game.
If,
you know what I mean?
I feel like if they use that kind of mechanic with their combat system, and then maybe add some kind of narrative elements that like Telltale or those kinds of games have, where like there's really deep narrative choices,
Yeah.
you could have a crazy cool game.
Yeah.
Like with like
Because,
a
like-
lot of branching paths.
Like here's the thing. Like I killed one dude, right? And when I had his intel on him, it told me he was blood brothers, but I didn't have the other guy's info. So I killed him. I was going about my thing. I ended up getting in a fight in like an orc camp, and I'm beating the hell out of all of them. All of a sudden, I get blindsided, like literally tackled by this dude, and it's the blood brother. Like I killed his friend, so he came to fight me, and there's a voice dialogue that he's like, you know, he can't be here to see it, but I'm gonna fucking avenge him and fucking kill you.
That sounds
And
so
then
cool.
like we just fucking went at it, and of course I killed him too.
Is there like exploration, or is it really just like approaching a base, fighting some grunts, and then fighting the
There
boss?
are, from what I read, there's 5 different maps. And they're all pretty big, but all of them have like, you go through, it's pretty big sized. Like, and there's so many captains you could face. Like, there's stuff to do everywhere on the map.
Is it like a senselessly open world that I have to find these guys, or do you get?
I would say it's open world, but I would say it's not insanely huge to the point where you feel like you're traveling everywhere. Like, I would put a marker, and it was on like the other side of the map, and you get there really quickly.
Good,
because you have like Assassin's Creed like parkour abilities. Like, you get places fast.
Oh, that's dope. Because I hate when like it's like, oh, you gotta get to the next guy. It's like, okay, well, I'm really just walking through nothing until I get there. At least
well, that's part of the fun of it, is you're always immersed. Like, I'm always sneaking through a camp. I'm always on jumping rooftop to rooftop to find my guy.
I want to jump rooftop,
and
I want to sneak.
When I get to him, That's the thing, you don't have to sneak. You can just fucking start
I
fighting.
want to fuck up everyone.
Well, like, when I find my target, I'll be, like, perched up above, and I'll fucking drop on him, Assassin's Creed style. And, like, I plunge that knife, and he pushes me off, and then it starts the boss fight. Like, we just get in there. But I died once last night, and I died to this guy named Tark.
Tark.
And I'm not going to forget him, because then he's, no, because he called himself the Tark Slayer, because your guy is, I guess, a Tark, it's what you're called. So then he's like, yeah, he's like, that's what they'll call me, the Tark Slayer. And then it literally goes to, like, a scene, and you literally see, like, this random, character that killed you is now, like, a general, because he killed you, and he's, like, prestige now.
Is there a lore element to you coming back?
Well, basically what happens is, from what I remember in the first game, the Dark Lord or something like that, like, killed your whole family, and you should have been killed too, but, there was, like, this, like, a slain, like, elven prince or king or something, and basically, like, you share the same pain, and you're now, like, intertwined. So, like, he's a part of you, pretty much, like, you have his powers. So it's kind of like, that's why, like, on the cover you always see, like, the man and the ghost, because it's like that.
I don't know what the covers look like.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dual thing.
Kind of feel like it would be easier if it's like, you were defeated in battle, but you got away.
Well, because you're a human, and you're like, why am I not dead? And they're like, because you have a purpose. And like,
oh, so he's like Kenny.
Kind of, but it's like they're like intertwined, where the prince guy is like, you know, like, you have to do this for us. Like, you're the only one that feels my pain that can do this. And you have to fucking, I guess, work your way up to fighting the Dark Lord, but I ain't there yet.
Is it the guy that's working with you?
Like, I unlocked the second map. I don't even want to go there yet. Like, I want to completely wipe out this fucking army in the first map before I even get to that second map.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
So these fights aren't tedious. It's like, I'm just doing more of the same.
And this one introduces kind of like a loot system, where, like, I'm picking up different swords and different capes that have, like, higher numbers of damage on them.
Now, when you're fighting grunts, it's probably basic combat, like hack and slash, but when you're fighting like captains, is there a little more strategy, like, I gotta block here, I gotta dodge here, or is it just like,
in a sense, each captains have things that enrage them. Some are enraged by, like, mortal wounds, some get enraged if you try to execute them, and if you have the intel, you know that, but a lot of fights you might try to go in blind and
what
does
enraged mean? Like,
then they start doing those attacks.
Are there quick times in the fights? Are there cutscenes
mid-fight?
Yes,
the thing is, it'll pop up and it'll say, like, Y or A. So, like, while you're fighting. And, like, A is like a dodge and Y is like a block. So when I'm fighting grunts, I'll be shooting some guys coming behind me, and it's like, Y pops up, and I hit Y, and my guy turns, blocks him, and starts fighting him.
Oh, so
you're constantly fighting your way through these crowds.
So it goes into, like, mini cutscenes / quick time cutscenes?
It's not even cutscenes. It's literally just all combat.
Okay.
It's like I said, it's very Assassin's Creed style.
Very arcadey.
It's very, like, but it all flows.
That's
like,
dope.
it constantly flows. And then, like, when a general sees you and you're in battle, it feels like a war where you're, like, fighting through the army and, like, to get to that general to fight each other. It's so intense.
And does it end up a one-on-one, or is there still, like, grunts everywhere?
Oh, no, they're still fighting you.
Oh, that's nuts.
And, like, there's different abilities. Like, I fought one guy who, like, when he died, his soldiers felt the need to avenge him. And it was, like, be prepared to fight, like, his boldest warriors after you kill him.
Like, if you're
like, that's cool. Not each one had that.
If it was one-on-one you versus captain, you're good, right?
Yeah, it might still be a challenge. Depends on your abilities, what you're running, and what the captain does to you.
And now, how many grunts will be around him while you're fighting him? A bunch?
Fucking army, dude.
So it becomes...
There could be, like, 30 dudes around.
So your guy is basically fucking...
It works kind of like zombies.
So
like, if there's one grunt next to you, you're fine. If there's, like, 30 around, like, you're gonna be constantly
so in these
swinging.
fights, you're basically like a medieval ages John Wick, just fucking slaying.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's dope.
And it's like, the nemesis system works. Like, I remembered that dude who fucking killed me, and, like, you had to do, like, a nemesis, like, mission to, like, find him and then fight him again.
You could eventually kill them for good, right?
That's the thing, you kill them, they might come back. I had one guy come back 3 times, and each time he was, like, more bandaged up and, like, fucked up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they get stronger as they get bandaged up too, right? The guy comes, like, limping over, he's like, I'm not done with you yet.
Not necessarily get stronger. They get stronger if they kill you. Like, that grunt who killed me was then prestiged, and he had stats, and I had to worry about that.
Oh, so...
And if he kills me again, I think he ranks higher, and he's harder to fight.
And then he'll be president one day.
Yeah, exactly. President of the Orcs.
That's dope.
But, like, what a good game. Anything else you've been playing, or...?
I got a weird one.
Yeah? Hit me.
Finally get that mobile game I've always wanted.
Fuck.
I get that fun-ass mobile game.
Harry Potter.
No.
Yeah, it's Harry Potter.
I actually haven't gotten into that one yet. I need to.
It's so good, dude. I'm gonna check it right now, actually.
Fuck yeah. I did. Well, speaking of Harry Potter, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, not really.
I logged in. I caught the first thing that turned into, like, Hagrid, and then he, like, turned into a spiral, and it looked weird.
Everything spirals.
Do you pick your house?
Yes.
And does that matter if we're different houses?
Your house doesn't matter. At level 6, I believe you get an occupation, and that matters.
Okay, because, like, the first time I took the, which, if you like Harry Potter, you should take the test to see what house you'd be. The first time I took the house test, it was Ravenclaw.
It's and best house.
I took it 3 more times after that. So my first time was Ravenclaw, my next 2 were Gryffindor, and my 4th was Ravenclaw.
That's why you never take it more than once.
Yeah. Well, I took it like a year or 2 later when I cared a little more after I watched everything. So I was like, I'm going to care about it now.
I've always enjoyed Ravenclaw. Felt it was a super underappreciated house.
I'm going to be Ravenclaw. That's what I'm going to pick. But yeah, I haven't really gotten into it yet.
You have, there's 3 professions you can have. The first one is Auror, and it each one has a strength and a weakness.
Is it like the Pokemon Go teams, basically?
Not necessarily, because an Auror deals extra damage against dark forces, and you are weaker against beasts. Magic Zoologist deals extra damage against beasts and takes more damage from curiosities. And a Professor deals extra damage against curiosities and takes extra from dark forces.
So this is rock, paper, scissors.
It's rock, paper, scissors. Also, the Auror seems to be more like a DPS, because there's going to be like raid and fight type events. There are certain fights. I've done a few of them. I fought a vampire.
Is picking a different profession going to fuck me over from being on your team, or is it not like Pokemon Go?
No.
There's no isolated teams.
That's the opposite, because these aren't teams. So basically, it's like you could switch at any time to any of them.
Oh, dope!
But I believe you.
Do you level them up too? And
yes.
And does it undo?
You have to take courses. Like I'm a Magic Zoologist because the Magic Zoologists are healers. Aurors are like DPS. Magic Zoologists are like healers, and Professors are kind of like the mages, I guess you would say.
Do you level up the classes and they undo if you change, or you can just level them all up?
You unlock books as you go, and as you'll see, there's like skill trees.
Oh, that's sick!
Yeah, and you unlock as you go, and you unlock spells that you then use. Like Magic Zoologist has spells that help me like heal people on the battlefield and heal stamina, like regain people's stamina.
This is cool.
So it's like I chose Magic Zoologist because I don't think a lot of people are doing that. I think most people are going to go Auror or Professor. Whereas in Pokemon Go, that would fuck me. That would be like the Team Instinct where nobody has it. But in this game, it's actually probably better to be the one nobody has.
So in this game, there's no way to gate me from playing with my friends.
No.
Sick.
Yeah.
And like I said, I only played for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It was so cool seeing basically the Pokemon Go map with a different skin.
Right? With like your wizard and like
witches flying around. It's a little more detailed.
By the way, I don't know if you saw my picture. I got the sick beard going. I got that Hagrid beard.
Oh, I was gonna say because your first one was a witch. You can change that.
Yeah, you can change it whenever.
You see, can you change?
You can also make your wand.
Can you change
like different
your
wands?
Because I don't know.
Yeah, you can. I can change mine right now.
Because I know on the you picked Ravenclaw, right?
Yeah.
And can you change that or no? Also, what was your name? Did you just make it like your login?
I just made my access core or something. Yeah, I can change my thing whenever.
Your house?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. But you see, because on the Pottermore website, I think you can also do the test to have your wand choose you. So I want to do that one and then pick the same wand in the game. You know?
Yeah. Because you actually the wand shit was really kind of in depth.
Does it?
You get to choose your wood. You get to choose the core,
Whoa!
and they each have different stuff that they affect, and then you choose the flexibility of it.
Yeah,
that shows unyielding and the length.
These are all things from. I mean, I think this is more detailed than the Pottermore website.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to length.
That's cool though.
I want the same one that would be given.
Yeah.
So that's sick. I definitely got to get into it, and I kind of hope that we get the same satisfaction as playing Pokemon Go. I would like to oh, we're bored this weekend. Let's fucking go to the park.
Yeah. You know what else I like about it? They have for no real reason. At night they show you what phase the moon is in. That's a really cool detail.
It probably matters for what beasts or things or I don't even know what the things are.
Also, when the things pop up that you capture or whatever it is, I forgot what they're called.
The things you capture are just really complete pictures, right?
Yeah.
But it also levels you up as a wizard.
Yes.
See, that's what Pokemon Go didn't have.
And then there's legit missions you have to do. But the yellow beacon ones are fairly rare. The red beacon ones are the most rare. So like when you see the like red beacons, like make sure you hit those.
Are there things you can't capture by being a low level? Because I remember the thing with Pokemon Go.
No, I really haven't had any trouble. But there are potions that make your thing stronger, kind of like different Pokeballs. But I haven't had difficulty like at all.
Because the one thing that was weird about Pokemon Go was like, say day one I just saw a Charizard in the wild. If I got lucky, I could catch it. In that lore, I wouldn't be able to use Charizard in a battle. He'd know I'm a weak trainer and he wouldn't respond to me.
Yeah,
That's why Charizard hated Ash in the series,
yeah.
because he was a weak trainer. But in this game, it seems like you have to actually level yourself up, which is cool.
Yeah. Also with the spells, I found that speed is better over accuracy. Like when I do like the really fucking rapid, like do the thing, even if it's not like super accurate,
Is it
I'll
spamming-
get like the highest quality.
Is it
But if I like
spamming
sat there
damage?
and slowly did it, I would get like good, and it would suck.
Is it like spamming some damage over like going slow with perfect damage or something?
I guess so, but mainly I think it's like the effectiveness of the spell. Because all you do is you cast a spell, and then the thing pops up, and you tap it, and then they either resist it or you break it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, now back to the game I was going to talk about. I've been playing Sonic Forces on the phone. It's literally Sonic Run, if you've ever played that game.
Yeah.
But it's multiplayer. It's a 4-player versus. You just kind of do the. You do the spell.
Yeah. Hold on. Incomplete. Like, but if you do it faster, it's so much better. See, like I just got a fucking masterful.
Gotcha.
Like it wasn't accurate, but I got it fast.
Oh, cool! You murdered a chicken. See, I like that this involves skill rather than like, oh, I hope the Pokeball doesn't open.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, so Sonic Forces on the phone, it's honestly fucking awesome. It's basically Sonic Run as a race against 3 other people.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pick up rings, you can get 100, and that changes how fast you're running. And you can pick up the little item box, and you can get 4 different items. You can get like a speed boost, a shield, an environmental trap, and like a projectile. And each race is honestly probably 30 to 60 seconds, and it's just a great time killer, honestly. And it's fun, and like you just like unlock other characters who have like slightly different abilities. It's just fun. It's a fun time.
Yeah. That sounds sick. I might have to check that
Because
out.
like the run games are like endless runners are fun.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
not an endless runner, and it's just like it's like a PvP.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you get the bots, and you can tell by the name, but then sometimes you do get real people,
And you're like, yeah.
It's like, oh, I just fucked this guy over mad good. It's great.
One more thing I wanted to add on this is, you know how in Pokemon Go there was like gyms and Pokestops?
Yeah.
In this, the gyms are just like fortresses.
They're
Like that's
brothels?
the same. But they kind of made 2 different things as Pokestops. One is called an inn, and you go and there's like different plates of food, and like you randomly pick one and you get a reward from it. The other one is a greenhouse, and at the greenhouses you like pick a plant and then you think you get like certain herbs from it. So there's like 2 different Pokestop kind of deals, which is cool. Like we always had the bowling alley down the road as a Pokestop.
It was a gym.
In this one it's a gym and a greenhouse.
Oh, there's still gyms?
The fortresses.
Okay.
That's the gym.
So we still got those prime fucking locations nearby. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was about to ask about that.
Yeah. But it's cool because it's not just Pokestops anymore. There's like the 2. So I thought that was really cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
I'm hyped to play it when we go to Universal and see if there's actually like specific things in Diagon
Dude.
Alley. Like, I hope that area is just lit up. Like, oh, there's the wand store. There's the candy store.
Yeah, right? That'll be hype.
Drink some fucking dragon scale beer.
Fuck
Play a
yeah.
fucking Wizards Unite. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, I don't know if I told you, but Disney totally commented on that Tiki Room rumor. It's not true.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. They didn't say anything about Country Bears, though. Kept real quiet about that. Alright, so I want to get into a bit of the news, since you're reading it. News.
Yeah, I'll read some news. Alright. The first one's a quick one because I don't know the ins and outs of it because I can't find myself giving a shit because it's too messy.
Yeah.
Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo talked about how the trade tariffs that Trump is trying to put through or something are a bad idea.
Yeah.
Now, not political. Can't deal with the nonsense.
Mhm.
It's a game, and I will not play it.
Yeah.
But the real thing I like about this is seeing that the 3 big boys are honestly even talking as a unit. I like that. And if they're talking about that, I'm sure they're talking about other things. It's like, considering there's been crossplay lately with some games. Now they're talking about this. There was at Game Awards, they all came out. It kind of feels like the 3 are finally like united. in some regard?
Yes, I would agree. I don't think it has anything to do with the same thing as like a crossplay type deal.
No, definitely
where, like,
not. But just in general, like,
I think at the end of the day, it kind of comes down to where like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, and it's like nobody else is gonna pick on little brother but me. Where it's
Yeah.
kind of like we're in competition with each other financially, but when something threatens our industry as a whole, like the three of us together are kind of like we don't stand for this.
yes,
you know what I mean?
But if you told me in like 2012 that the three big boys were going to be even in talks about anything, I'd be
Oh,
like,
of course.
I'd be like, fuck you. They don't.
Yeah.
They hate each other.
To me, it kind of that to me is like if me and Mikey will rip on each other as Giants and Cowboys fans, but at the end of the day, if Trump were to say tomorrow he's ending the NFL, me and Mikey would stand arm in arm and be like, "Fuck you! You're not doing that." You know what I mean?
But yeah, I just like any news of the three heads.
Yeah, no.
The three big boys talking.
I think we don't get really political on the show. We don't really do that kind of deal. It's not what the show is. But from what I understand and what I've heard from this, it just sounds like the deal is not really good for anybody. Like, it's not good for us, the consumers. It's not good for game developers.
Isn't it
It's
something
not
like
good for like the industry as a whole. Like, nobody benefits from this.
we buy stuff from China, and they don't pay much to ship it over here.
Yeah.
But we want them to pay more because if they get our goods, we pay to send it over there, and he wants to even it out. But based on the fact that how much we sell them, based on what they sell us, it doesn't make sense because, I mean, if we all want to pay a fuck ton more, then it would be even.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to do that.
Then we'll end up like Canada, where you have to pay like $90 to get a game.
Yeah.
And it's like that benefits nobody.
On paper, it makes sense, but in practice, it's like this doesn't work at all.
Because then people buy less games. The developers would get the same amount of money because the tariff is going towards not them. They start seeing less sales. Like that doesn't benefit anybody.
It's like this doesn't seem to be the hill to die on in terms of gaining revenue for the country.
Yeah. So I think when it comes to an industry as a whole, it's really cool seeing the three stand together and be like, no.
Yeah.
None shall pass.
Speaking of money, we can go into this news story.
I have none. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's the news.
This is also a quick one because I couldn't find the secondary article I wanted to go along with it.
Yeah.
But since this year was shitty for them, EA execs gave up their yearly bonuses, which good. Fuck you. Y'all had a shitty year, and I think they must have known it was going to be a bad year.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Anthem thing speaks for itself.
See,
I think that was like the real mark. Like if you think about the past year of EA, what the past 2 years, what are the two games you think of?
Unravel 2. And the Sims 4.
I wasn't gonna say that, but Anthem and Battlefront 2. I think Battlefront 2 was their big blunder. And I think
blunder
now,
is an understatement.
I think now, sorry, I went to do that and I kind of flicked you off. I think like Anthem outdid their own blunder. Where now I feel like I could play Battlefront 2 and my friends wouldn't be like, "Oh, you playing that fucking game?" They'd just be like, "Oh, how's that game?" Because now Anthem is the talk of the town of how bad it is.
You see, I was going to talk about this other story that I wanted to segue into this, but I don't have the article, so I didn't have all the
We
points.
can combine it in here, I think.
Like the head of EA or something was talking about how he really believes in BioWare. They're here to stay. Anthem's here to stay. He used the word compelling literally like 5 times in a sentence about Anthem, and we're saying how
corporate jargon,
like 7 to 10 year plan. It's like, listen, maybe you can turn this game around. You gotta stop talking about it because he's talked about it a few times now. You gotta show me because at least Fallout made moves. At least like No Man's Sky, yeah, they went quiet, but it wasn't just them being like, our game's great. It's like, no, it's not. Like,
yes, but I believe whereas No Man's Sky went quiet, but they were also they were an indie team.
Yes.
And I think with something like EA, you're already the bad guy, and now people have another reason to laugh at you. And I think at this point they have to say this. Like he can't come out today and be like, Anthem was a real shithole, huh? Because then what would we say as backers? We'd go, fuck you, I'm never buying one of your games again.
Absolutely.
They have to put the money behind it to fix this game, and he has to keep saying things like this. So they show that, like, listen, guys, we don't want you to think we just took your money. We're going to fix this game. Trust us, please, because we need you to. You know what I mean? It's something that has to be said more than I think something that they truly want to say.
Do you think that they're going to be able to turn this game around? Because I do not. Just from simple facts of, we saw the cataclysms in the original E3 trailer. They look nothing like that.
Yeah, your jaw dropped when I showed you that.
We saw that in their original gameplay presentations, they literally hid the jetpack bar, so we were under the impression you could just fly.
Yeah.
I didn't know I would be flying for 10 seconds at a time, unless I hit a convenient waterfall.
It depends by what you think turning this game around is. What do you, like, if you define it as, do I think they're going to come out of this and everybody at the end of the day is going to be like, wow, how did we ever doubt this game? Move over to Destiny 2, move over Division 2, like, here comes Anthem. Then I think no. I think if you're going to satisfy, if by turn the game around, I think you mean that, like, people who bought the game are able to, at some point or another, jump back in, there's new content released, they jump back in and they go, this feels like the game we wanted. And it feels good, and it gets everybody talking about it in a more positive light, then yes. It'll take time to get there. Might be a year out at this point. We might be talking about it in summer 2020, about how Anthem's turning it around. But I think it will get there, and I think EA has the money more than anyone to back it to make that happen.
You see, I think it's impossible for them to fix it, because based on how they presented this game to us, first of all, we've had fun. The combat situations with your class-specific powers are fun. I never used the gun. I would always throw fire and ice. It was super fun. You loved, like, the giant minigun or whatever you had, like the giant, like, Colossus stomps you had.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they based the entire world and the way the enemies appear and the way the levels are built around the fact that you only fly for short increments of time. Like, when I first saw the game, I was like, I'm never going to be on the ground. Why would I be on the ground?
Yeah.
And then I find out
I'm
on the ground a lot. So I feel like just the way they built the world, the flying is secondary when it's like mechanically required of you.
It also felt weird in the way that, like, water would, like, cool down your flying.
And there's so many random waterfalls.
There's so many random waterfalls, but it always felt like one was just out of reach. Like, it always felt like one was just far away enough that I had to hit the ground for, like, a few running steps before I could get back to it. Like, and it was like, just make it close enough that I could combo it if I want to and fly forever.
What they should have done is, like, yeah, you can fly, but there's grunts, and then there's, like, elite grunts where they'll throw something at you, maybe like a mini EMP bomb, and you'll get disabled and you'll fall to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, you made it seem like this is a game where, like, I have, like, a 360-degree axis of, like, way to look at these enemies at all times, and, like, when you see the real game, it's not built that way, and it just kind of feels like, any other third-person shooter with the ability to hover.
To be honest, I think the story was fine. Like, I don't think it was amazing.
I was impressed with the cutscenes. They showed a guy actually consume food, and the piece of food actually, like, get bitten.
Dude, I'll be honest with you.
You never see that shit in games.
If you were to give me 5 minutes to tell you what I remember from playing Anthem and what I remember from playing Kingdom Hearts 3, I'd probably remember more about when I played an Anthem, to tell you the complete truth. Like, I thought the story was fine.
Yeetus Vanitas.
What I thought was a weird disconnect was where they gave you the, obviously they're going to make it multiplayer and they make it co-op. But at no point in the story were they telling me why I'm with a group. Like, I'd play Destiny and they tell me, like, you are the Guardians, like, you work together, you are this community. In Anthem, it felt like you're telling me I'm, like, one of the last few, like, javelins, because they're, like, a dying breed. And then, you just fucked up. If my VR don't work, you owe me a VR.
My ass.
And it would be like, okay, like, this really heated thing's going on, and it's you and your crew, and that's all that you got, and you have to get out in this storm, and you have to make the fucking cataclysm, fucking Enigma protocol, fucking whatever the fuck they say in this game happen. And then it was like, and then you hit the jungle with, like, 3 dudes. No. And I have no understanding about why I'm with 3 dudes.
I'll tell you exactly
why.
With them. I'll tell you exactly why. It's either a lack of creativity or laziness mechanically.
Yeah.
Because the entire story of the game could have easily been done with a single-player narrative where it's like, oh yeah, this, like, you're a freelancer, you get hired to do these jobs. This is the job you got hired on, and it spirals into this adventure. And then Endgame would have been like, oh, there's a lot of other shit going on in the world. You're probably going to need to team up with other freelancers to help solve these problems.
Yeah, make it more MMO style.
That's what you should have done. Because there's no reason you have to team up with other people. Especially when, like, oh, look at this little thing, I'm going to try to explore the world. Oh, some asshole went 50 feet in front of me, I'm getting teleported now, and it takes longer to load than to get there myself.
4 of us have to go find my buddy Owen in the wilderness. It's like...
Exactly.
What is this?
It should have been single player, and then it branches into endgame with multiple people. Like I said, oh, you got hired. Here's your... It turned into an adventure. Oh, great job helping us on this freelancer thing. We got more for you to do, but you're probably going to need a team on this one. And then, boom. Easy way to make it make sense.
And also, it was kind of like there was no end game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like going back to what you originally said, give it time. I've seen crazier things happen. I've seen No Man's Sky turn it around when we all said they were fucking done as a company.
Did that somehow ever happen?
I've seen Fallout 76 now come out and announce human NPCs and fucking Battle Royale. All of a sudden, fucking Shroud is streaming Fallout 76.
Hey man,
like,
Fallout 76, which we'll talk about. Well, I'll talk about that when we get to it. It's E3 stuff.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like these games do what we never think they can, and I think Anthem will get there. There's no time limit. There's no saying, like, if you don't have this in 3 months. No, they're going to take fucking few months. They're going to make something substantial, and they're going to put it out. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. But I think there's hope for them. I don't think it's gone yet. And that's as someone who doesn't fucking touch Anthem right now.
I hope they can turn around, because like I said, I loved playing, like, that wizard character. Was it Storm or whatever?
Dude, I made a Buzz Lightyear Colossus.
Dude.
You know how much fun I was having?
I would just freeze a big group and then just throw fireballs, and it was so satisfying.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things they need to fix is don't make my console chug like a goddamn choo-choo train.
Yeah, you were having a lot of problems. I could hear that thing down the fucking block.
Andrew could literally hear it from his room how loud I made my console.
I thought missile turrets were about to start shooting fucking Apache in my living room.
Now, almost an hour into the podcast, let's talk about E3. I guess this will be might be a longer one since we
I mean, I didn't think we need to really do a lot of time on E3. I mean,
just some highlights.
Honestly, yeah. If you missed E3, if you tuned in for our reactions, thank you. But if you missed it, it's all on YouTube. Bulldog Gaming. You can see I uploaded all of our streams. They're all up there.
So maybe we should just talk about
like, what were your highlights?
Banjo.
Yeah, dude.
Banjo is the hype of E3.
Dude, I'm telling you right now. Next year, I'm taking off that Tuesday. Yep. Because to me, I felt like after sitting through all these conferences that, to be honest, were very mediocre, I feel like it's a crime that we did not stream our reactions to that.
I would have been doing backflips.
I would have been crying. I would have been dead-ass crying on stream. And it's a shame that out of all the mediocre shit we had to sit through, we didn't get our reactions to Banjo.
I was watching Banjo.
I was like, fuck, man. I was crying at work, dude.
I've watched all 3 of the 30-minute long streamers react to Banjo.
I still can't. I cry.
I cry, too. I've watched the Nintendo Store one probably at least 20 times. I've probably watched at least 3 to 4 hours of Banjo reaction content.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched the Grant Kirkhope video where he's like, Banjo, Kazooie, we're home.
Banjo feels like the friend that, like, moved away early on, and like you haven't seen him in years, and he's visiting. He's like he's like the older brother that, like, went off to college and he's, like, coming home.
Dude, like, goddamn, like that was such a moment, and like how many throughout doing like Top Drawer Gaming, throughout doing like all the content we've ever done, every year we say Banjo's happening. And granted, we didn't get a Banjo game, but I think what we got is pretty damn good.
We're getting a Banjo remake or game.
Yeah, it's gonna come eventually.
Nintendo.
They're gonna see how good this sells. And they're gonna be like, "Oh fuck."
Not even that. Nintendo's doing remakes. Sony's doing remakes.
To
Xbox,
be honest,
get on this shit.
I think they're just sitting on it for the next console. I think there's no reason to really put it out right now. It'll be a fun thing for next console.
Next E3, I gotta get that week off.
And to summarize E3, what I will say about E3, my whole thing about it this year is that this E3 had to walk, so next E3 can run. I think a lot was held back this year because you don't want to announce a lot of new stuff when you can't show off next gen stuff. Yeah. You're not showing off your next gen console until next year. And like with that, you want to show these games that get you to buy consoles. And the other thing is the big conversation this year that E3 is a dying show.
I do think it is.
I don't think so at all. I think a lot of people are very reactionary to this year because Sony didn't go, because Sony had no reason to. I think Sony will be there next year. They have a console to show off. I think they'll absolutely be there next year.
I mean, I was going to ask you this question since, like, Xbox announced their console date. Do you really think that Sony's going to launch a console around the Xbox, or do you think they'll do it earlier?
Why would they be afraid to?
I don't think that they're afraid to. I think, here's the thing. We could have a PSX this year. They could show the console, and then they could launch it in spring or summer. And at the end of the day, if both consoles are coming around like Black Friday time, someone somewhere is gonna buy an Xbox over a PlayStation.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. If they announce it earlier, and they're the first ones on the market, people might buy it because it's the new hot.
Are you telling me that in less than a year I'm going to be playing PS5? You're thinking like a spring launch?
I think it's possible. I think Xbox has a very older mindset, and they don't care what the new thing to do is to be trendy, because they're more on their customer relations tactics right now rather than things that make sense, in my opinion.
But I think even, let's say that does happen, and I don't think it's crazy. And I'd love that, because then I could buy both. I wouldn't have to fucking buy both in the same month.
Exactly.
I think that would benefit both of them.
Yes, exactly. And
but
think about this too. I can't even count Xbox, so they don't put out games. When does Sony put out a humongous game in the fall anymore? Do they do that anymore?
No.
So why would they put out the console then?
Yeah, that makes a fair point. But to me, let's say they do put it out with a spring release, right? I still think they'd be at E3 to show off a shit ton of games.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think the reason they didn't go this year was you saw how E3 was this year.
I just think it might...
There was nothing there, and they were like, we're not going to force this when there's nothing to do. And they never said, we're done with E3 for good.
I think we're going to video packages, though. I think it's really going to start happening.
But this, I don't know, because there's... To me, there's 11 other months out of the year you can do a video package and it's fine. To me, there's something about E3. There's something about having those people come on stage, talk to the audience, show off their new game. There's something magical about that that you can't get from a video package. And it only works for Nintendo because we're coming down from 4 or 5 other conferences. If everybody were to do that, it would lose its appeal.
Well, also, Nintendo's horrible at live. I was watching part of the Switch reveal.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
my God, it was so boring.
You want to see one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life? E3 live Wii music demonstration. Literally the most cringe I've ever seen in a room.
God.
But
yeah.
Listen, there's a reason the Super Bowl's once a year. If we had a Super Bowl every month, it would lose its luster.
Hey, man.
There's one E3, it's once a year, and that's when the heavy hitters come out.
We have Paris Games Week, too, which has been showing stuff. Sony does a lot at Paris Games Week.
How many times do streamers all over Twitch stream giant reacts, get their friends over, have those big moments for Paris Games Week, for PSX? It's E3. E3's the one everybody knows. E3 is the one, dude, we didn't even say it, but shout out to, John, Tom, Bobby, Luke, all for coming through and hanging with us.
TDG Luke.
And doing our streams. But it's we're not going to get those guys together to watch PSX. We're not going to get those guys together to watch Paris Games Week. To me, E3 is something. And I think it's going to be bigger than ever because of Twitch culture. I actually think something like that makes E3 bigger than it used to be, where it was just IGN and these press outlets and they reported on it. Now you have... Maybe the show floor was empty, but I guarantee their numbers on the internet were amazing. As far as everybody watching live streams.
I'm putting it out there. I'm making a prediction. We're going to get a big-ass PSX this year. They're going to show us PS5, and it's coming out before the fucking Xbox.
Yeah.
Maybe before E3, so they can show off what's coming to it. I think they're going to be Death Stranding's going to be there. Maybe it'll come out with Last of Us, launch title. They'll both come out early in the year, and then we'll get...
The rumor for Last of Us is still February 2020.
You can get it in February.
From what I've heard.
You can get PS5 in February. And then at E3, we get a big showcase of what's to come.
I think if they're going to do a spring launch, it's going to be either March or April, because they'd want to coincide it with people getting tax returns, so they have that big week numbers.
That's true.
I don't think February. I think that might be a little too early.
Because if you think about it, look at Nintendo. They're on their own track. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about the third-party games. Whatever third-party games they get are bonuses.
Yeah.
And granted, they're way more prevalent on the mainline consoles, but I feel like if Sony put themselves on their own track, like Nintendo did, like, screw everything in the fall. The fall is for the third parties, you're going to have your fall time. But let's get the PS5 out there. It's backwards compatible, so who fucking cares what it really launches with anyway?
Yeah.
We don't need to figure out as many launch titles. Like, oh look, Death Stranding is going to look nicer. Last of Us is going to look nicer on this console. Gives you reason to buy it. Mm-hmm. And then maybe, I mean, are we going to get exclusives? We're so confused. I'm so confused about what exclusives are going to be this generation.
I mean, there's always going to be exclusives. You know what I mean? Like, we might not know about them yet.
Or is it
Could be new IPs.
Or is it going to be like, oh, this looks better. This looks and plays better on the next console.
I mean, a little bit of both. The thing for me, as far as these next-gen consoles are concerned, if I had to use one word to describe how I think they're going to be, I would say smooth. Because I remember when I had my PS4, and I was the first one of my friends to have a PS4, and yeah, I could see my friends were online on PS3, but I had to, like, pop into PS3 and go and chat with them and play the games with them.
They're going to let us fucking do it.
I think on PS5, I'm going to be able to, if you or John or Tom is playing Overwatch on PS4, I think on my PS5 I could hop in your game.
That's what I fucking want.
Like, I think it's going to be a smooth transition, and I think it's going to be nice.
And this generation, more than ever, if it works that way, the resale market on consoles is going to explode, because then we're going to get an influx of hand-me-down PlayStation 4s going into the wild for cheap.
Yeah.
And the people who still haven't jumped ship to it are going to finally get it,
yeah,
and to be able to interact with their friends who moved along.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like, I think every game has to be backwards compatible at this point.
Well,
like, I think that's going to...
This one's being built with it. Like we know how Xbox had to, like, figure that out.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why games get slowly pushed into it.
Yeah.
This one, I think, it's just going to work.
Yeah. And, dude, with the whole, like, minimal loading, and we're going to be able to... Like, I'm going to be able to have, like, finally... Because I don't have a Pro, I'm going to actually be able to get, like, some 4K graphics on this TV. It's going to look amazing.
Do you think that the opening the videos tab is going to take 10 hours, like on
the
PS4? Do you think...
Because it used to work when the PS4 launched, and then through all the OS updates, it fucking got laggy as shit, and they never fixed it.
Do you think we're going to have the same cross-media bar?
I feel like we haven't gotten a hefty OS update in a while on PS4.
We're getting the one with the party chat.
Yeah, that's true.
16-player parties. They're increasing the...
I wonder if that's getting ready for PS5.
I think so.
Yeah.
Also, the actual quality of your voice is going to be better.
Yeah.
I hope it sounds like Discord.
Yeah, right? That'd be fucking solid. But, yeah, I mean, going back to where we were, I think E3 was certainly a show this year. If really all I really stood out to me besides Banjo was, like, Cyberpunk.
Final Fantasy VII looked fucking amazing.
Yeah. Not for me, though.
You'll play it.
I'm not.
I'll buy it and you'll play it.
I wasn't really interested. Even watching the gameplay, I was like, this ain't my game. Like, I don't know. In Kingdom Hearts, I hated all the Final Fantasy bullshit. I've never been interested in a Final Fantasy. Like, it's not my game.
Fair.
Not my world.
It's the best looking game I've ever seen.
Oh, of course.
I haven't seen Cyberpunk gameplay.
But are you ready to play the first fucking, like, 10% of the game and then have to wait years for the next part? That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that was not... That's totally not what it was pitched as. And that's totally what nobody expected until E3.
They've always mentioned it was episodic. We just didn't know how it was going to go.
Yeah, it seems weird to me. It's like, is this going to be something that's... Is it going to be like mid-PS5 cycle? Like, fucking episode 4 of, like, Final Fantasy VII's out if you're still playing that. Like, is that going to be how it is? Like, you know what I mean? If it's taking this long and we're only getting this little.
Yeah, hopefully... I don't know. Square Enix is so fucking bad at, like... Like, I get that you want to take time on your games, but, like, let's fucking go.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Shit or get off the pot.
For real, dude. But, I mean, anything else you wanted to add about E3, or...
Everyone's an asshole. Fallout was gonna have human NPCs from the jump. We knew about Wastelanders for a while. We didn't know what it was, though. And it was revealed as people. I think if nobody bitched about the human NPCs, and they just let that happen as a reveal... Like, right now, that seems it seems reactionary.
Yeah.
It was gonna happen either way. I think if people weren't being babies, this would have been a moment.
My thing is, the internet is always going to be negative, and they're always going to want to complain about what they complain about. I've been playing Fallout 76. I think it's fine. I think people way overreacted, and it wasn't exactly what they expected from a full single-player Fallout adventure. Therefore, they weren't happy. You complained about human NPCs. They put them in the game, and now people are like, "Oh, look at Bethesda fucking pandering."
No, that's what I mean.
It's like people are always going to be negative.
I didn't,
and you just got to ignore the bullshit because those people don't play the game at all.
I never looked at the roadmap, so I didn't know it was called Wastelanders. If I knew it was called Wastelanders, I would probably have been like, "They're gonna give us human NPCs." The game is built with NPCs.
Yeah.
It's not like they can't.
Yeah.
I didn't expect dialogue trees. That's fucking cool.
The thing is I consider that if you never bought the game, never played the game, why do I care about your commentary? You are not a part of this community. You didn't pay the entry to get in. It'll be like if I stood outside the gates of Disney World and I'm like, yeah, look, they're fucking pandering. They built a Star Wars land, fucking dicks. It's like, I'm not paying to get in. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, who are you to tell me? Oh, don't go on that ride. Fuck you.
And you know what's even more interesting? This takes place the earliest in the Fallout timeline. We're building to what Fallout games are. We didn't start with the dialogue trees, and we built up to them. The world is evolving. We're growing.
Yeah.
I think that they were planned from the jump, and they wanted them to be a big, fun reveal, and people didn't let that happen.
Yeah. Because you can't have fun.
The pandering?
You can't be happy.
The pandering was Nuclear Winter, which also was already planned. That's just a response to Battle Royales today.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it's great. Haven't played it yet.
Yeah, you're fucking up, dude. It's so fun.
It's just, we gotta get on that shit.
Me and John been playing.
A lot of stuff we'll play this weekend.
I'm like ranked, I think I'm ranked like 9 or something.
Have you won yet?
Yeah, me and John have won like 2 or 3 times.
You're
crazy.
You're co-overseers.
Yeah, dude.
Now, what were your teammates doing while you were doing that? Because I know it's only 4-player, right?
I mean, the teams we won with, our teammates were pretty solid. But there's been a couple teammates, like, I tried to drop John some ammo, and this guy ran up and grabbed it, didn't even have the gun. I was like, you're a fucking asshole. But that happened once in like 30 games. Really didn't happen much.
Can I wear my skeleton mask, or is you start naked?
You can acquire any clothing you have in the Atomic Shop.
Damn it.
You go in the Atomic Shop and you favorite it and you wear it.
That's dope.
But then like I have the tux, but once I put armor on, the tux doesn't count as like an undergarment, so it comes off as soon as I put armor on. Meanwhile, I bought like an undergarment so I could wear it in Battle Royale and it wouldn't let me wear it. I was like, it's fucking stupid.
Boogie Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Fix your game.
But besides that, Battle Royale's awesome. Which is weird because I never liked PvP in a Fallout. But here I am enjoying this, you know?
So last topic, Breath of the Wild sequel, gonna be lit.
Yeah.
Wish you liked that game more.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah.
Once again, it's just puzzles. It's non-stop puzzles. It's not my thing.
You hate the Japanese. It's just
yeah. I can't stand the... If there's one thing you take from the Bulldog Gaming, it's that I can't stand the Japanese.
Playing your fucking Nazi game and
shit. Yeah. Oh, God. Well, that is going to do it, right? For this episode of Bulldog Gaming. I think we hit everything.
Oh, yeah, also that One Punch Man sounds stupid. 3v3 Bandai Namco, an anime fighting game.
Yeah.
Stop giving me the same game over and over again.
Cool game. I heard I have Bleeding Edge now. I don't care.
Instead of putting him as DLC in Jump Force, you just gave him a shitty game.
Yep.
Let's go.
Anime games love to do that. So that is going to do it. Be sure to check us out. Brian is streaming over at Stallion. Is it Stallion Duck now?
Stallion Duck.
It's just Stallion Duck. So twitch.tv/Stallion Duck. I am at twitch.tv/Bullhammer. And follow us on Twitter, Bulldog Gaming. And anything else I'm missing?
My Friend Pedro is on sale for like $16 on Steam Summer Sale.
Steam Summer Sale is fucking crazy.
Sonic
go buy
Adventure 2
everything.
is like $3.
Also, PSA, any Telltale games you own that you want to hold on to, download that shit. I'm hearing stories every other week of this game's not available now. I don't know what's going on with this game. It's being pulled from stores. Just be safe. Any Telltale game you own, just download that shit. Hold on to it. Treasure it. Don't let it go. Don't delete it.
A little bit after they mentioned that the games are going away, I was like, let me buy Minecraft Season 2 just to be safe.
It's gone.
It's already gone.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it.
So just play it safe. Download that shit. I went through and downloaded all the Telltale games I want to finish. I don't think I ever finished Game of Thrones, and I downloaded the last episode. I'm like, I'll probably play through that again.
Get like a 32 gig flash drive and just throw them on there. If you ever gonna want them, there they are.
2 terabyte external. It's probably the way to do it these days. We did it the old-fashioned way before externals were allowed, and it's cooked in there.
I'm gonna use my old internal through a wire I have to be an external and just put some shit on there.
Yeah. Well, I'm off to browse the Steam Summer Sale. I got paid today.
He's gonna go jerk off.
So that's what they call it now, browsing the Steam Summer Sale. So we will see you next week, and as always,
Yeet
I don't know,
your meat.
stay in touch with yourself.
Eat your meat.
Eat your meat.